Alright, so it's been a while since I've done a video on the nesting blackbirds, and unfortunately it's not a good update at all. It really isn't. This is really unfortunate. Now, the day after I filmed the video on the nesting doves back in April, sorry, not nesting doves, it was about the nesting doves and the blackbird. After that day, the next day when I woke up next morning, our next door neighbour clipped the ivy back on the bush. If you look at the side of the tree just here, as you can see, it's been clipped back, as well as the ivy. He clipped it back, and I don't know whether he noticed the nest there or whether he did notice it and clipped it anyway. I'm not entirely sure. But unfortunately, when he clipped it back, the nest, if you remember in the video I made back in April, it was very nice and snug in there. After he clipped everything back, unfortunately, the nest became very exposed, which I immediately became very worried, thinking, oh God, if any bird of prey flies over, it's going to have that nest, because around here we have a lot of crows and magpies, and I was incredibly worried. Now for a while it was all right. For about a week or so, it was okay. They were still sat on it, but then one evening when I came out, I noticed eggshells on our lawn, like just scattered across the lawn, all by the bird feeders, which made, and they were blue eggs. And I looked up, I picked all the eggs up and had a look, and looked up what blackbird eggs look like, and they were blackbird eggs, and I was so sad. There was some out the front of the house as well. Sorry if the camera's a bit shaky, but where I'm pointing the camera is where the nest was. But yeah, I found eggshells all over the garden. I looked them up, and they were blackbird nests, and blackbird eggs, unfortunately. And at the same time, the nesting blackbirds, they weren't sitting on the nest anymore. So obviously that told me straight away that unfortunately their nest has been attacked. And then a few days later, I looked out the window, and I saw a crow on the edge, just where I point my finger there, and whatever was in the nest, he just pulled straight out and flew off with it in his mouth. So yeah, whatever was in there has just been taken out. So I think the nest is still there. I'm not really sure. I can't really see it because the ivy's grown a bit now. But I think the nest is destroyed, actually. I can't really see much of it. But yeah, so really unfortunate news about the nesting blackbirds. Really is sad that happened. It's just unfortunate the neighbour clipped the ivy, unfortunately. If he never clipped it back, I think it would have been fine. I don't know. I have no control over what the neighbour does. He has the right to do that. I think realistically it should be us clipping it back, but I'm not really sure. But either way, he has the right to clip it back. We can't tell him to stop. I mean, I would have thought, if he saw the nest, because it was quite exposed, I would have thought if he'd seen it, he would have left it, or maybe kept the shrubs around there. I don't know. But he didn't. He clipped round it. But I'm not going to start, making a rant on the neighbour. But yeah. But that's that. I'm afraid we've lost our nest. And like I said, I have no control of what the neighbour does. He has the right to clip it back. But yeah. But that is, it is unfortunate. I was hoping to see some baby blackbirds, but we didn't. So not a good update, guys. But there is. The parent blackbirds, the male and the female, the blackbird pair, they're still around. They didn't get attacked by the birds of prey. So the parents are still around. In fact, the parents still come to the garden all the time. So that's good to know. So maybe they may try again next year. I'm not really sure. But the parents are still around, so that's a good thing. So maybe they might try again, hopefully. Hopefully they do. Yeah, so unfortunately we lost the nest, but the good thing is, the parents are still around here, so hopefully they'll try again. So that's the update on the blackbirds. Not a good one, unfortunately. I was hoping, to bring you good news, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Might as well give you an update on the nesting doves. They're going alright, they're still hanging around the garden all the time. I haven't seen the baby recently, so I don't know where the baby is. I'm presuming it's still in the garden somewhere, but it's hidden. I'm not really sure, unless it's flown off. I don't know. But the parents are still round here, so I presume the nesting dove is around here somewhere. I'm not really sure. Another thing that's happened today, if I just pan the camera down here, I'm not going to zoom into it too far because it is quite gruesome what's happened. This is a juvenile starling that has been attacked by a magpie, and let me explain what happened. Now, I didn't see it. My brother saw it. He was on his computer and he heard a lot of chattering from the starlings outside. Recently, a lot of juvenile birds have been coming to the garden, like juvenile starlings, blackbirds, and sparrows. He was on his computer and he heard a lot of chattering outside, so he went out to have a look. And as he opened the window, the magpie flew away, but he didn't notice the full fight. He only saw it like when he opened the window. When he opened the window, the magpie flew away. But as the magpie left, the magpie didn't come back. It left the starling just here, which here it is, what you can see on the camera just here. So it left the starling here. The starlings were still in the garden. They were up in the tree, just chattering away, obviously, as they do when there's a bird of prey in the area. Eventually they did fly off, but it was quite sad, really. So the magpie unfortunately did attack this poor little starling. You see, my brother noticed it. I didn't see it. He brought it up to me. He came to me. Was like, there was a starling attacked in your garden. So yeah, he saw it. He witnessed it. But yeah, here it is. Now I went and had a look at the starling, and that magpie literally ripped that starling's head clean off. And I'm not going to show you because it is, I don't know whether I'm allowed to show that on YouTube. I don't know whether the video would get like get a community guideline strike or something, but I went over there and it's got no head at all. That starling has had its head completely ripped clean off. It was quite a shocking sight to see. It made me feel really sick. Yeah, so it is really sad, but I'm afraid that's the way nature is. I'm afraid nature can be cruel, but birds of prey and other predators, they've got to eat too. So that's just how nature is. But you can see it down here, poor little thing. But yeah, but that's what's been going on recently with the birds in my garden. It's not a particularly good update because of the blackbirds and the starling. But yeah, I'm going to pan away from the little starling now and just pan to the garden now and end off the video. So if you did enjoy this video, well, if you did enjoy it, I don't know if there was really much to enjoy in it apart from the news about the nesting doves being okay. But I mean, if you found it interesting, or you're a regular viewer of my nature videos or so, I don't know, I don't really know. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully no more bad stuff happens with the birds. So, oh, robins just turned up. Let me see if I can zoom in. Actually, I think that's one of the juveniles, actually. Yeah, that's a juvenile. We've had lots of juvenile robins in the garden as well. But now I'm actually going to end off the video, guys. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And let's hope nothing else bad happens to the birds, and hopefully everything goes well.